Okay, so I'm going to make a art journal mixed media page inside my prototype of my art journals that I listed for you guys. And I think I'm going to use a lot of watercolor. I'm going to skip this page because I want to actually do a double page spread, and you see there's like a gap there. So I'm just going to skip a page really quick. And I want to show you what inspired me for this one. Here's my little sketch. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's like a bouquet of hearts. Well, since it's close to Valentine's Day, I thought it might be kind of cute. So what I ended up doing was, I was inspired by this stamp by Stamp It Up. It's called Love is Kindness. Isn't it cute? But I didn't want to buy the stamp, and it just inspired me for the whole Valentine's Day hearts thing. So I just wanted to show you where my idea came from. So what I did was I made a, because it's wrapped in paper, or like it's probably newspaper, but I really like the idea. So I got some Obic pages out, and I just kind of played with it and folded it. And I'm going to use that on here, and I'm going to do some drawing and some stamping and some sketching. So I think what I'm going to do first is do some stamping, and I want to use this Heidi Swap stamp. I was looking, it does not have a name, at least not that I can see. It doesn't, but it's got some really cool like script, and I love script, and it's in different languages, and I don't know, it's just really cool. So I'm going to use this stamp, and I'm going to use a VersaFine ink, and this one is Vintage Sepia. So let me get this. So I'm not going to use a stamp pad. I'm just going to like roll it on there, hopefully. And I'm just doing this as a background layer, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And it doesn't have to cover everything. And I don't think I'm going to re-ink it. Just something that's going to be in the background, so it's not just a white page that I'm starting off with. I'm going to heat cut it just real fast just to be sure that it doesn't run. Alright, now I'm going to take my little, excuse me, my little newspaper bundle here. I'm going to trace it approximately where I think I'm going to place it down, because I want the hearts to be coming and, you know, just out every which way. And I can't decide if I want it going over both pages or just staying over there, because I also want to put a title on there that says Love is in the Air. It's kind of corny, I know, but I think I'll just leave it on one. So I'm going to do a light trace of it, so I've just got to roundabout to where it's at. I'm going to use some watercolor to do a quick background. These are just cheap. I'm not even sure what brand they are. There's no name anywhere. There's something you get like at Michael's or Joann's. I don't think I've seen them at Hobby Lobby, but for this kind of stuff, they're a really good value. They're only like $5 or something, maybe a little more than that. So I've got my water over here, and I think I'm going to go with, I was testing out some colors. I think I'm going to go with this kind of color scheme. So I'm going to start by getting my paper wet, I think. Just a little bit. Oops, I didn't get all the crumblies off. So I want it to blend. I want these colors to blend in with each other pretty good. Okay. I'm going to start with, let me spray my watercolors too. I'm going to start with a light blue Oops, splattered up on there. And it's just kind of an indication. It's really not covering the whole thing. Just. And then I want to do some of these green colors. Oops. One's like a green, one's like a teal, turquoisey, and then the light blue, of course. Okay, it kind of got cut off on me there again. I'm not paying much attention to the camera, so it's shut off, not sure where. But alright, I'm going to dry it really fast after I get some of this out here. Okay, I think it's dry enough. Now I can do a little bit of the laying out to where I want the hearts to be. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this, because I want some of them to be focal and some of them to be more in the background. So let's just start. I'm just going to draw a heart first. I'm going to try to do it lightly. And I want them to be like all different shapes and sizes, because, you know, flowers, I want them to kind of look like a bouquet of flowers, so flowers are all different. Alright, let's start there. I think the first thing I'm going to do is use some watercolor pencils. These are by Derwent. And I'm just going to start tracing out the hearts first. I'm just going to go in and erase some of the pencil lines that are inside the hearts. I'm kind of wanting this overall sketch to look sketchy, not so perfect. So I think I'm going to come back with some water-soluble charcoal pencils or something like that to add some more depth and stuff. I'm also, I think, going to use some Inktense blocks, I think, to put the base colored down, maybe. These are also by Derwent. And I'm just going to take them directly off the bar there, just to kind of give the heart a base. You know what I might have to do? I think I'm going to have to not do that part yet. I think I'm going to have to do the watercolor pencil with gesso, because I need to cover up some of that. Let's try one and see what happens. Sometimes it's just all about playing with the different materials that you have, because you know, I don't really know. I can't tell you this is exactly what's going to happen when I do this or that. I'm looking for my gesso over here. You just have to learn as you go to see what works best with what. Alright, that's going to work. I think that'll work. So I'm going to go ahead and do all the hearts that I already have on here. And I'll probably fast forward it and I'll be back. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and glue this down so that I can go over top of it. I'm not gonna glue these flat parts down, I'm just gonna glue this base down. And so that way I'll get a better feel for where everything's at. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use a glue stick. And I'm gonna use some PVA glue, I think, mixed with water. Okay, I'm trying to get this glued down really fast. I just used PVA, watered down PVA glue and a glue stick. And I'm only gluing the base down so that I can go ahead and draw the hearts over top of there. But I want to be able to leave this option open in case I want to have stuff sticking out from under there, if that makes any sense. Okay, I think it's down. So I think I want these hearts to be over top. Right, and I had one, I don't remember which way it was coming down. Was it this one? No, let's just make one. And I'll put a stem on it later. So this one is just the watercolor pencil. This is not ink tints, it's just plain Derwent watercolor. Now I'm going to use some water and a brush and some gesso, and I'm going to activate it. I'm going to do all the hearts, and I'll probably put this in fast forward. Okay, now I'm going to, that was just like the base, so now I'm going to do some more definition of the hearts. I think I'm going to use the ink tints pencils or the ink tints blocks for that. So hang on, I'll just be right back. Okay, I'm going to start with the pencils, I think. And use a couple different colors. Make sure it's dry. So basically I'm just going to add some more definition. Okay, that was the red. Now I think I'm going to do some pink. Pink Derwent ink tints. Or magenta. Fuchsia. There we go. Fuchsia pink, whatever. Alright, I'm just going to take a brush and I'm just going to activate those colors and see what we come up with here. So even though you put this down with pencil, when you're using the water to activate it, you still need to kind of be a little careful because this stuff's pretty potent. Once it dries, it's there. Okay, I've got those all dry, and now I think I'm going to take a brown color. This is an ink tints by Derwent bark color. I think I'm going to just like be sketchy and just kind of, you know, go around the hearts like that. Okay, and you can see them a little bit better now. I also think I'm going to start doing the stems. And I also want to do like this little curly Q up underneath them. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit of water to them. And this is just like the under part of the stems. I don't know, I just want it to be kind of sketchy. I hope I'm making some sense. And since I used the ink tints, it should be a little bit more. Oops, I forgot one. Well, I better come back to that. I forgot a curly Q. Now that it's all dry, I think I'm going to add some highlights with some gesso. Just on some of the parts that I think would be highlighted naturally. Not too much. Alright, now I'm gonna, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of the same book paper that I have here. I had cut a book up with some, experiment with some other stuff. So I think I'm gonna make some hearts out of this. And just sketch it really, I don't know how many maybe I'll do, maybe I'll do 3 or 4, I like odd numbers. Maybe I'll do 5. So I'm just going to sketch them out and cut them out, and I'll be back. Okay, I also think I'm going to ink them up just a little bit using the archival ink. Let's put it on the side without the pencil marks. I think that'll look really pretty. Okay, let me get some glue, and I'll be right back. Okay, first thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same Derwent Ink Tints bark color and go around the edges of this heart in the same manner. Okay, I'm really just wanting to give the inside of the hearts just a little bit of color. So I'm going to use the Ink Tints, the Ink Tints, yeah, the Ink Tints blocks. There we go. Wow, sometimes. Alright, I want to add a little bit of pink, just a little bit. I don't want it to go crazy, because I still want it to be able to see the stark difference between the two types of hearts. I'm thinking I might just leave them like that. Add some white highlights with gesso. Okay, I found these Say It in Crystal swirly doos from a Prima, and I thought they would go really, really cool on the base of these old paper book hearts, paper book pages hearts. Right? Wouldn't that be cute? I think it would. You probably can't see very well, but that's, you know, that's part of it, I guess. Yep, I like it. Although these have great adhesive on the back of them, they're already pre-sticky. They don't always stay stuck. So I'm going to take some glue and seal that I put in this bottle with the with the tip on it and put it on the back side. Real quick, I'm going to have to cut that because there is no way this book will close with that right in the crease like that. No way. I'm going to have to make that stand out a little bit, so I think I'm just going to go back to my Inktense blocks here. And some water. And try to go like highlight it just a little bit. Yeah, I think that'll be better than without. Okay, I'm gonna keep adding these cute little things on here and I will be back. Now I'm gonna go back and add the Inktense. What color was that? Bark. I think I'm also gonna make this outline a little darker over here. Alright, I'm gonna, now to make it more sketchy, I am going to get in my box of Faber-Castells and try to find a tiny, extra small Pitt pen and a fine Pitt pen, and I think I'll do black. So I think for the smaller hearts I'm going to use this extra small nib. So I'm just going to keep doing this and turning it. And you want to go kind of outside of where you've already done, so it's sketchy looking. Now I think I'm going to take the fine tip and maybe go around these bigger hearts. Yep. Maybe I'll even go around. Okay, now I want to put something that wraps around the bundle. So I'm going to use this really pretty, I don't even know what color it is. I guess it's just like a rosy pink color seam binding that I've crinkled. And I think I'm just going to like thread it through each side here, because when I shaped this bundle, that took some of the side out, which is look way too much thread, seam binding. So should I glue it down now before I tie? Oh, and the heart is in the way. I'm gonna have to scooch that down. Yeah, I better glue it down first. And since I got it here, I'm just going to use some glue and seal, because I don't feel like it needs to be completely down. I like it sticking up a little bit like that. Alright, I'm just going to try to tie a bow. I can't decide if that's too big. Okay, I got the ribbon tied on there. Pretty good. And then I used a couple of glue dots just to hold it in place temporarily. I'm going to take this Inktense block here, and I'm just going to go around the edges, and then I'm going to add some water. Alrighty, the outside's dry, the outside edge is dry, so I'm still debating on how I want to write "Love is in the air." I think I'm just going to write it. I'm just going to handwrite it. I'm going to start with the Inktense pencil, and then maybe go back with some black. Maybe lightly at first. Alright, it's dry. Now I'm gonna go with this black pen. Yeah. Now let me see, I might do the white pen. Let me find my white pen. Alright, so I'm gonna go over some of these letters to make them pop a little bit better. Alright, I think that's about it. With my cool little Valentine's Day art journal, mixed media page. Love is in the air. Alright, so that's it. So let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. And be sure to give me a thumbs up if you like it. And then don't forget, this is the prototype of the yummy art journals that I've put up on my shop in different colors: pink, green, blue, purple, and vintage. I'll just link the shop directly because there's gonna be different listings. So just go over there and check it out. There's 2 per color right now. So if y'all like them, I'll make more. Just let me know. And I hope you liked it, and I will see you next time. I think the next video is going to be using my new tag-shaped art journal, showing you how super cool this one is too. Alright, I'll see you next time. Bye.